Why people with few friends are often the most secure. A dark psychological truth. Welcome to Vantage Aditya. Watch this till the end, because what you are about to hear will quietly change how you judge people, how you judge yourself, and how you interpret silence in a world addicted to noise. There is a silent category of people walking among us every day. They do not announce birthdays loudly. They do not have group photos flooding their social feeds. They do not constantly introduce stories that begin with, "my friends and I," and yet, they are not lonely. They are not broken. They are not lacking. They are simply selective. In a world that equates popularity with worth, people with fewer friends are often misread as incomplete. But psychology tells a far more unsettling story. Because lack of friends is not always a deficiency, sometimes it is evidence of strength. Here is the uncomfortable truth most people avoid. Humans are social not because connection is noble, but because isolation is frightening. Many relationships are not formed out of love, trust, or shared values. They are formed out of fear. Fear of silence. Fear of being unseen. Fear of being alone with one's own thoughts. And people who cannot tolerate themselves rarely tolerate solitude. Those with fewer friends have often crossed a psychological threshold most people never reach. They have learned how to sit with themselves without distraction. They have learned how to process emotions without external validation. They have learned how to regulate their inner world without borrowing identity from others. And that changes everything. From a dark psychology perspective, social excess often masks inner instability. People who constantly seek groups, chatter, and social affirmation are often outsourcing emotional regulation. They use people as mirrors to reassure themselves that they exist, that they matter, that they are acceptable. But someone who chooses fewer connections is doing the opposite. They are self-regulating. They are internally anchored. They are not searching for approval. They are filtering for alignment. This is why people with fewer friends tend to have a sharper outlook on life. They observe more than they speak. They detect inconsistencies faster. They recognize performative behavior instantly. Because when you are not distracted by maintaining multiple emotional contracts, you start seeing reality clearly. Another truth that unsettles many: security reduces social need. Emotionally secure people do not need constant reassurance. They do not need to be surrounded to feel safe. They do not panic when messages go unanswered. They do not interpret silence as rejection. Silence to them is neutral, sometimes even restorative. This is why emotionally secure individuals often appear distant, mysterious, or misunderstood, not because they are hiding, but because they are not advertising themselves. People with fewer friends often have stronger boundaries, and boundaries are deeply threatening to insecure minds, because boundaries signal choice, and choice implies power. Someone who can walk away from social inclusion without anxiety is not desperate. They are autonomous. Here is a darker layer most people miss. When you reduce your social circle, manipulation loses power over you. Peer pressure weakens. Groupthink dissolves. Emotional leverage disappears. You cannot be easily controlled when you do not fear exclusion. This is why historically, thinkers, strategists, and leaders often maintained small circles. Not because they disliked people, but because clarity requires distance. Too many voices dilute intuition. Too many opinions erode conviction. Too many relationships create emotional noise. People with fewer friends often hear themselves more clearly. Now consider the flip side. Not all loneliness is strength, and this distinction matters. Isolation caused by fear, trauma, or avoidance is different from solitude chosen through awareness. The key difference is intention. Those who are secure with few friends are not hiding from people. They are choosing depth over breadth. They are not emotionally closed. They are emotionally precise. They do not tolerate shallow connections because shallow connections drain energy. They do not invest in people who require performance instead of presence. They do not negotiate self-respect for social access. And because of this, They are often mistaken for cold, arrogant, or detached. In reality, they are simply unavailable for emotional chaos. Another psychological advantage emerges here. When you are not socially dependent, rejection loses its sting. You do not personalize disinterest. You do not chase validation. You do not over-explain yourself to be liked. And this creates a quiet confidence that others feel but cannot name. Ironically, this is what often draws people toward them later. Not neediness, not availability, but emotional self-containment. There is a paradox here. The less you need people, the more people respect you. The more comfortable you are alone, the less alone you feel. This is deeply counterintuitive and deeply threatening to modern culture. Social media rewards visibility, but psychology rewards stability. Noise is celebrated. Stillness is powerful. People with fewer friends often have an internal compass that does not require constant recalibration from others. They make decisions faster. They recover from setbacks quicker. They are less reactive. They waste less emotional energy. Because every relationship carries a psychological cost, and they are selective about where that cost is paid. This does not mean they lack empathy. It means they value emotional ROI. Now here is the most uncomfortable truth of all. Some people reduce their circle not because they failed socially, but because they outgrew their environment. Growth often creates distance. Awareness creates friction. Self-respect creates separation. And when that happens, loneliness is not punishment. It is transition. If you are someone with few or no friends right now, this matters. The absence of people does not automatically mean something is wrong with you. It may mean you are recalibrating, shedding noise, resetting standards. But discernment is essential. Ask this instead of judging yourself. Is this solitude draining or stabilizing? Is it shrinking or strengthening you? Is it fear-based or choice-based? Because solitude chosen from strength is one of the most powerful psychological positions a human can occupy. You stop chasing, you stop proving, you stop performing, and you start attracting what aligns, not what distracts. The world fears people who are content without applause, because such people are uncontrollable. If this perspective resonated, reflect before reacting. And if you know someone who quietly walks alone without complaint, look again. They may not be lonely. They may simply be secure. Stay sharp. Stay selective. And remember, silence is not emptiness. Sometimes it is clarity. Subscribe to Vantage Aditya.